Can decals and a little splash of black and red really add a little bit more horsepower? Well, definitely not. But what I'm going to prove to you today, that all those little bits and pieces of special edition parts can really add more to the driving experience more than anything else. What's going on, guys? Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and today I've got something really special for you. It's the Mitsubishi Montero Sport RALLIART. Now, you've seen us review a couple of special edition cars in the past, and I've received a bit more mixed reviews when it comes to those. But especially in this one right here, I've shown this Montero Sport to a couple of guys, and it's definitely split. It's either you love it or hate it, just like the other special edition models that we've reviewed. It's got this special front trim up here, right here under the chin, and of course you got that RALLIART badge. That RALLIART badging right there is going to be a recurring theme throughout the entire review, because this baby right here will want you to know and remember that you're looking at a RALLIART version and nothing else. These red inserts down below definitely give it a little bit more pop, especially in this diamond white color that I really love. You got the same piano black grille, the honeycomb design right here at the bottom. You got LED headlamps, LED DRLs, LED fog lamps. The only thing that's not LED right here are those turn signals. Overall, the entire shape of the front end of the Mitsubishi Montero Sport, especially in this RALLIART edition, is a fresh departure from the current trend of boxy, macho looking. This time around, it looks really sporty, really athletic, and I love it. Over here to the side, you got your, well, more of that chrome trim that I was talking about. You got that piano black 18-inch alloy wheels with all-terrain tires, those piano black over fenders, a chunky step board, but the highlight of the entire side profile are those really obnoxious red mudguards. A lot of guys probably find it a bit too obnoxious, but in my end, I'm a bit juvenile, and I like red, especially when it's paired with a white color. Now, this is something that a lot of people are definitely complaining about, but not me. You've got this RALLIART decals on the side, but the thing is, what Mitsubishi Philippines was trying to harness, trying to tap, is that spirit of RALLIART racing. Back in the 90s and even in the early 2000s, Mitsubishi was really active when it comes to racing, and their badge of honor was the RALLIART. And this one is pretty much an homage to that. And I kind of get it, and I like how they implemented it right here. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it, but guys like me who find that a little bit of obnoxiousness kind of nice, especially with this one right here. It just adds a little bit more something special, something different that lets you stand out from the rest of the pack, especially if you've seen a lot of Montero Sports on the road. Now, right here in the rear end is where a lot of that RALLIART spirit really exudes itself. Now, apart from that RALLIART badge, you got this blacked out spoiler up top. You got another camera right here, parking sensors, which is definitely helpful, especially for a SUV this size. You got LED tail lamps. I gotta say, these LED smoke tail lamps here are definitely a sight to behold, especially when you compare it to the pre-facelift model, which goes all the way down here. It just looks so futuristic and so sporty. It's definitely something else. By the way, you also have a power tailgate feature. Now, this power tailgate gives you access to all this space inside, where we actually have tumbled down the third row seats and the second row seats. And we're able to fit this full-size bicycle, which is owned by our director, by the way. If you want to know more about his biking escapades, follow him on Facebook. I'm sure he's gonna appreciate it. Are you? Yep, okay. All right, so there are more than a few steps to fold the third and second row seats down. To do that, pull this tab right here, and that pushes the third row cushions forward. Pull these seats down, and it turns that flat. Now, fold and tumble the second row seats forward. So it's best to hook this to the front headrests like this, and fold the third row cushions forward like so, but make sure to twist this forward to act as stands so they're flush. And then this one, take them out of their straps. And there you have it. You got a flat bed right here. You won't be able to set any second or third row seat passengers, but at least you can fit an entire bike in this bed without having to remove the front wheels. So that's something. That's definitely something. And The thing is, it's kind of complicated. It takes more than a few steps, but once you do get a hang of it, it's all good. All right, so inside the Montero Sport RALLIART Edition, you won't find as many changes inside as there are from the outside. The floor mats have some of those special edition RALLIART badges right there, but apart from that, there's nothing else. They still have the same touchscreen infotainment system here with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You got this digital display cluster that features a whole lot of information that you need on your drive here, which is good. Definitely, it's very readable. You've got the same steering wheel here. It's leather wrapped, plus all the buttons that you can imagine to control your media, your cruise control, and everything else from your car. There are no blank buttons on the steering wheel, which is nice. And behind it, you've got your magnesium alloy paddle shifters. You also have your dual zone climate control system and something that says Nano E. Nano E is actually a Panasonic developed air filtration system that makes sure that you have clean air inside. You got dual USB ports right here. They're not USB-C, unfortunately, but that's fine, as well as an HDMI port. We were not able to test what that's for, and if I base it on the system right here, I don't think you can actually mirror anything to it. But props to Mitsubishi for at least putting an HDMI port right there. But right around the shifter, you've got this diamond pattern that surrounds it. You would think that it would be more bumpier than it should be, but it only gives you the illusion of that texture, but that's okay. Right below, you got your electronic parking brake, your automatic brake hold. On this side, you can find more buttons to control other stuff about your car. The seats, by the way, the seats are nice and padded. The driver's side is power adjustable 8 ways, and you got 6-way power adjustable for the passenger. Right below the center console, there is another, well, some space right here, so a little bit of shelf. So if you want to keep some stuff hidden, you can put it right there. Now this one I really appreciate. Next to the console, there is a padding there, so your knees won't bump some hard material, it won't damage it, and it won't damage your knees as well. The steering wheel is adjustable for both reach and rake, so getting your optimal driving position is possible on this one. All right, so again, no surprises on this one, but with no surprises, you won't be pleasantly surprised as well. So let's head on over to second row seats and see how that fares about. All right, so right here in the second row, you do have a lot of space. We've got space for 3 people here, so even if you fit 3 of me in the second row, that's no problem. So on longer drives, you want to charge your phone, you can do so right here. You got 2 USB ports, which is great. And another one, you got a 220 volt socket right there. So you can just simply use your fast chargers. It has a 150 watt capacity, so you can easily fast charge your phones, your laptops. The weird thing about this is that I seem to be seated quite high up right here. Well, you don't sit like this anyway, so you just lounge back right here and you got a lot of headroom. The leather is definitely comfortable, plus you got air con vents as well, where you can control it with using this console here. You can turn it off, turn it on, set the fan up. Unfortunately, you can't control the temperature, but at least whatever the temperature is up front, it follows back right here on the rear. All right, so we'll be doing the third row test and see if I fit in the third row of the Montero Sport RALLIART Edition. So although we showed you that it was kind of complicated to get all the seats down in the Montero Sport, what I do appreciate about that is that it allows for easy ingress into the third row. So just tumble these forward, there we go. You got huge space to get in here. Just close the door. All right. Please fill it up. Hey! Wow. Let's lean this back as normal people would. Okay. There's not a lot of room for your feet here, so I'm basically squatting. But I gotta say, it's got a lot of room for your knees. But that's because you're squatting down and hunched down forward like this. And you can, let's adjust the headrest. Maybe like relax like this. No. Well, if you probably have shorter legs than I do, you can fit comfortably here in the back. But in a pinch, I can see myself traveling probably from here, from Manila to Tagaytay. But I would probably hold a grudge against whoever sits in the second row. But yeah, no complaints for me. I just feel bad about sitting in the back. It's not very comfortable, but there's some space in here. So probably 3 out of 5 for me, the back, which is more than I can say for most of the 7-seaters out there in the market today. But that's enough of this. Let's head on out for the drive and see how the Montero Sport RALLIART goes. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. All right, so we are behind the wheel of the Mitsubishi Montero Sport RALLIART. Under the hood, you still have the same 2.4 liter diesel or turbocharged diesel engine with MyVec that makes 179 horsepower and 430 Newton meters of torque. Now, it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and if you compare it with other diesel mid-sized SUVs out there, pickup truck-based SUVs, you might think that those power figures seem to be way off, way below. With my experience, it definitely reaches its max power and max torque much earlier than some other SUVs or even pickup trucks that are out there. And 430 Newton meters of torque, when has that ever been lacking? I mean, come on. That's even more than any other SUV crossover or sedan that's out there. Otherwise, you have to go for the performance-oriented ones. Right, so when you talk about suspension, you've got a double wishbone suspension setup up front and a coil suspensions in the rear. So you got independent suspension all around. And it's definitely something that's necessary in an SUV like this, something that has sporty aspirations. Not just because you need the stability whenever you're going through a canyon or carving through those corners, but you need them for comfort. And I have to say, this is definitely one of the more comfortable SUVs out there, while other SUVs definitely still feel like trucks, or sometimes pass that barrier and start to feel like crossover SUVs, where the steering feels definitely number than it should. In this case, it's still very active, it's still very responsive, but it's found a sweet spot. Again, it's all about getting to that sweet spot of being not too soft or not too hard, but just right. Now let's talk about what the RALLIART edition really means for this. Now, like I said earlier, do all those decals, do all those stickers and body kits, do they mean anything for the horsepower rating? Does it mean anything for the drive? And I gotta say, while it does not add any power figures to whatever is existing already, it adds to what you feel. And you see all those Montero Sports on the road, and the feeling that you get that you are driving something really special with, thanks to those red mud guards, it's something that gives you a good feeling while you drive. And maybe it does add a little bit more horsepower, even if it's just in your mind. So yeah, well, NVH is superb, as with most mid-sized diesel SUVs out there, but you can still hear a bit of that diesel clatter coming through the cabin. But if you do go through different bumps, the road imperfections in our certainly imperfect roads here in the Philippines, it's all right, thanks to those chunky tires on 18-inch wheels. So fuel economy of the Montero Sport is fairly decent. You get 7 to 8 kilometers per liter in the city, and that's at a 14 kilometer per hour average speed. And once you open it up on the highway, it does get better, around 15 kilometers per liter on the highway. And that's even with about 2 people inside the cabin with you. So that's three passengers inside. And that's not bad. Safety features include, well, almost everything that you're looking for in a car today. Well, you've got ABS with electronic brake force distribution, you got traction control, you've got all those proximity sensors all around to make sure that you are not hitting your precious RALLIART Montero Sport anywhere. You got some advanced safety features as well. You got forward collision mitigation system. You even have adaptive cruise control. You got lane keep assist. You even have a 360-degree camera. So that's certainly something that's helpful with bringing a truck this big. It's got a complete package, I gotta say. So if you're thinking about safety, the entire body of the Montero Sport won't just protect you when it comes to collisions, but it's got some active safety features as well, and that is certainly appreciated. Pricing for the Mitsubishi Montero Sport RALLIART starts at 2,122,000 pesos. And if you consider a difference of 97,000 pesos from the regular Black Edition Montero Sport, it might be something that you could consider. I mean, you get authentic and original RALLIART parts. You can have them installed from third-party markets and all that, but you're not assured that it is original. But also there is a certain feel of pride whenever you see yourself driving down the road, let's say 5 or 10 years down the line, and then you meet up with a couple of your friends who own Montero Sports as well. You can definitely say that you have an original Montero Sport RALLIART, and not a lot of people can say that. So these are actually very limited, so if you want to get one, I'd suggest that you head on over to the nearest dealership and get yourself one of these babies. This is a legitimate bad boy right here. The sense of pride is what you're buying with this. You can install whatever you need after the fact, after you buy something, but this, it really feels like the original spirit of RALLIART is within you. Just drive carefully on this one, right? So that's our review of the Mitsubishi Montero Sport RALLIART Edition. And before I give you my quick recap, let me give you 3 things that I love about this. But first, here are 3 things that I don't like about it. The first thing that I don't like about the Mitsubishi Montero Sport RALLIART Edition is that apart from the decals and the additional trims right there, there's nothing much that delineates it from the standard Black Edition. Still a 4x2, it still has the same diesel engine underneath, but it's still a capable SUV, don't get me wrong, but I wish it had a little bit more performance bars to make it a little bit more different. Right, so the second thing that I don't like about the Mitsubishi Montero Sport RALLIART Edition are, well, these decals. I mean, it's a love it or hate it affair. So if you're more into stealth kind of look of your cars, this is not going to be your cup of tea, because this will definitely make you stand out from the rest if that's not what you want. The third thing I don't like about this is that the way those seats tumble down. I mean, you're gonna have to fold the second row seats forward, and then there's gonna be a special way to fold the third row seats as well. I mean, that's too much work instead of having to go for simple pushing the button down, putting it down like that. But yeah, that's too much work especially for someone like me who's too lazy to do that. So now that I've picked all the nits that I can find on the Mitsubishi Montero Sport RALLIART Edition, here are the 3 things that I absolutely love about this SUV. So like I mentioned, it's no different from the Black Edition of the Mitsubishi Montero Sport, but because of that, it still has the same diesel engine underneath of it. I mean, this diesel engine might not be the most when it comes to power or when it comes to torque, but because of the automatic transmission Mitsubishi paired this with, the acceleration, the responsiveness is definitely there. It's one of the most responsive diesel SUVs out there, and that's something that I absolutely love. Also, the safety features. The safety features included in this Montero Sport is definitely top of the line. I mean, you've got everything that you need, especially the adaptive cruise control, the surround view cameras, basically 360-degree cameras, the blind spot monitors. It's just something that I really appreciate, especially with an SUV like this. Now, the last thing that I love about the Mitsubishi Montero Sport RALLIART Edition was also one of my cons. I mean, the thing that I love about this is just the obnoxiousness of all those trims, those decals, those red mud guards. It's just too much. It's just so much that I absolutely love it. Now, some people absolutely hate it, but myself, being as juvenile as I am, I think it's a work of art. Yeah, I'm going that far, and I'm going there. So that's a review of the Mitsubishi Montero Sport RALLIART Edition. I really enjoyed my time with this, and if you give it a test drive, I'm sure that you will as well. But drop me a comment in the comment section down below and tell me what you think, and while you're at it, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit that notification icon so you wouldn't miss any of our videos. This is Roy Robles from Zigwheels.Ph, and I'll see you guys next time.